$6 billion of Iranian assets frozen in South Korea have finally returned to Iran after U.S. sanctions were lifted. There was also a prisoner swap between Washington and Tehran. Seung-jae has more.
After being frozen for more than 4 years, $6 billion in assets sitting in South Korea have been sent to Iran after the U.S. lifted sanctions in exchange for 5 Americans being held in the country. Iran's foreign ministry confirmed that all $6 billion were transferred to Iran's account in a friendly country in the region, and that Iran should have complete access to it to use according to its needs. Citing sources, the Associated Press reported that the frozen assets were transferred to Qatar via Switzerland. Meanwhile, in exchange for the frozen assets being returned to Iran, Tehran released 5 Americans being held in the country. Siamak Namazi, Morad Tabaz, and Imad Shargi, as well as 2 other Americans, had been detained in Iran for nearly a decade on a number of allegations, including espionage. The 2 other Americans who were not identified had not been in jail, but were not allowed to leave Iran. The exchange of Americans held in Iran was mediated by Qatar, where they were handed over at the airport in Doha. Also part of the deal was the release of 5 Iranians in U.S. prisons. The Iranians were mostly imprisoned for violating U.S. sanctions, but not all of them are expected to return to Iran. U.S. President Joe Biden thanked those who helped to make the swap happen. Issuing a statement upon the release of the 5 Americans, the U.S. president said that he was grateful to the partner countries for their tireless efforts to achieve the goals and thanked the governments of South Korea, Qatar, Oman, and Switzerland. He went on to further thank South Korea for its close coordination and partnership. The $6 billion of Iranian funds had been frozen in 2 South Korean banks when U.S. sanctions were reimposed after former U.S. President Donald Trump withdrew from a landmark 2015 nuclear deal with Iran in 2018. Seung-jae, Arirang News.